Hello, very good evening to you. Welcome to ITV News and to Friday night's calendar.
Hello, thank you for joining us. Here are tonight's main stories.
Honouring a legend as the rugby world prepares to remember Rob Burrow this weekend. Leeds Rhinos women make an emotionally charged trip to Wembley, targeting victory in his memory.
We're obviously doing it for ourselves and for the club, but you know we're Rob, but we're going to do it for Rob and his family, and you know for his legacy as well. As let's bring that Wembley win home for him as well.
In a week where people of all ages have been paying tribute to Rob Burrow, I'm here at this track in Leeds where children are running in his memory.
Also coming up on this evening's programme. Paying the price. Traders in a Bradford village call for a U-turn on plans for parking charges, which they say have left them struggling to stay afloat.
I've had sleepless nights over it. This is my little baby. I do it on my own, and to have to shut shop and you know find another job fills me with absolute dread.
Ploughs about that. We're in North Yorkshire for the UK's largest vintage tractor and engine show.
And after a day of sunny spells, cloud increasing from the north, bit of patchy rain on the way overnight. Does that set the tone through the weekend though? We'll have your forecast later.
A very good evening to you. First tonight, following his death from motor neuron disease on Sunday, we've seen a huge outpouring of grief, love and affection for the Leeds Rhinos legend Rob Burrow. Rob, of course, made his name at Headingley, where hundreds of tributes from all over the country have been mounting up over the last week. Well, the week ends with Rugby League showpiece event, the Challenge Cup final weekend at Wembley tomorrow. There'll be a minute's silence before both the men's and the women's finals. The men's final will kick off at 3:07 to honour Rob, who famously wore the number 7 shirt. Well, fittingly, the Leeds Rhinos women take on St Helens at Wembley tomorrow. Before they left, the team visited what's now become a shrine to Rob Burrow. Our man Chris Dawkes was there too.
Paying respects to one of their own. The Leeds Rhinos women's team this morning reading the many tributes for Rob Burrow following his death on Sunday, before they left for Wembley for tomorrow's Challenge Cup final.
Someone that I looked up to growing up. It was an inspiration to not only the people in rugby but people off the field as well. Obviously seeing that before we head to Wembley definitely gives us the motivation that we need.
We're obviously doing it for ourselves and for the club, but you know we're Rob, but we're going to do it for Rob and his family, and you know for his legacy as well. As let's bring that Wembley win home for him as well.
Rob himself was a Challenge Cup winner on 2 occasions, a small man who shone on the big occasion. Following news of his death at 41 from motor neuron disease, the tributes outside Headingley's South Stand have grown all week, uniting not just a sporting community, but the whole country and beyond.
I want to talk to you about the passing of the little champion Rob Burrow this week.
Hollywood actor Russell Crowe, who met Rob when his team South Sydney played the Rhinos in Florida in 2008, this week posted this message on social media.
So, if you love rugby league and you loved what that little champion did in every single jersey that he ever played in, go to Wembley. Go to Wembley and celebrate his life and his career and celebrate the rugby league community.
Already in London, Rob's great friend and former teammate Jamie Jones-Buchanan, who was part of the traditional pre-Challenge Cup ceremony to lay a wreath at the cenotaph. And back in Leeds as the players boarded the bus for Wembley, fans continued to leave flowers and shirts at what is now a shrine to the club's most famous number 7.
Rob's on all our minds, obviously, and Lindsay and the family. So, yeah, it would be an absolute tribute to Rob if we could do it.
It's been an hard week for everybody. It's quite emotional, and we just hope that they do proud and do us proud tomorrow, and that the rugby league family is all behind us tomorrow.
He was courageous, he was brave, he was skillful, and he was Leeds through and through. And actually, you saw all them traits post-diagnosis as well. So, yeah, we'll hopefully do everyone proud.
And with that, it was off to Wembley, with Rob on their bus and in their hearts.
Well, since the news of Rob's death, donations have continued to flood in for the campaign to build an M&D centre in his name, and there are events taking place this evening to raise money.
Yes, Chris joins us now from the John Charles Sports Centre in Leeds. Good evening, Chris. Just tell us what's happening there tonight.
Yeah, well, Lara, I think forevermore now the number 7 is going to be inextricably linked to Rob Burrow, isn't it? Of course, it's the 7th of June today, and here at the John Charles Centre for Sport, we've got children and adults from the South Leeds Lakers Athletics Club running 7 laps of this track. Let's speak to one of the organisers, a coach down here, Martin Lee, who's giving high fives to the kids as well. Martin, why did you want to put this on tonight?
Just to remember Rob, really, and keep his family and his wife and children in our thoughts. Obviously, he was an inspiration in Leeds to a lot of rugby fans. He played rugby. I took my kids to watch him, and he punched above his weight on the pitch. He did that time and again. And when he had an M&D as well, he showed in all the adversity they had what courage he had. So he inspires our kids, and that's why I want to remember him today.
It's appropriate that we're at the John Charles Centre for Sport because John Charles, an icon for sport here in Leeds, very much like Rob Burrow. Different in stature, of course. John Charles, the gentle giant. Yeah. Rob Burrow, small in stature, but what a role model for these children, for many more as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he put himself on the map for his playing career, but when he got M&D, he showed the courage as well, and not many people had heard of M&D at that point. So now there's a lot more awareness around it. So that's a lasting legacy that he's going to leave, and all the fundraising that he's done as well with Kev Sinfield. I mean, we're raising funds tonight, and the monies go to the Leeds Hospital charity. So we're going to help do our little bit for the for the Rob Burrow Centre as well at Seacroft.
Martin, well done for tonight. Thanks for talking to us. You get the impression, don't you, that Rob's memory, his mantra, his legacy will live on for generations to come.
We certainly do, Chris. Thanks very much indeed. We'll leave you to go and do your 7 laps now. Thank you. Live at the John Charles Centre in Leeds.
Thank you, Chris. Well, next, businesses in a West Yorkshire village have described plans to introduce parking charges as a bigger threat than the COVID pandemic.
Well, Bradford Council is considering forcing drivers to pay to park in idle, saying charges are crucial for managing town and village centres.
But traders say it's not just customers who could pay the price, with shops and suppliers also facing a huge hit. Matt Price has this report.
Jodie Walsh's business survived the COVID pandemic. She's managed to stay afloat during the cost of living crisis. But of all the challenges she's faced, Jodie believes proposed parking charges are by far the worst.
Petrified. I've had sleepless nights over it. I'm really concerned. This is my little baby. I do it on my own. This is something I've grown myself, and to have to shut shop and find another job filled me with absolute dread.
Jodie's one of a number of independent traders here who are calling for Bradford Council to rethink plans to bring in parking charges in idle, a decision she says will decimate trade.
There's been a lot of investment from businesses over the last couple of years to bring that village feel back. The appeal is that people can come and buy what they need to buy while they're in the local community, instead of having to go into Bradford and Leeds and places like that.
And it's a view shared by Carissa, a shop owner here already. She's hoping to grow her business by opening this greengrocers in Idle in the next few weeks.
It's not just going to affect my business, it's also going to affect our suppliers, which are all local farms, local makers. Again, with my shop, it's all local people who supply me. It's going to affect everybody, because if we have to close, they lose business as well.
Words echoed by so many here, from hairdressers to cafe owners. People in Idle have been told motorists face a £1 per hour charge for a space at this village centre car park. There are safety concerns too, that drivers will maximise on street parking, making roads narrower.
We're not Wetherby, we're not Knaresborough, and most people who use this car park are local residents who are using the local shops.
I don't think it's fair, because it's not fair on the little local businesses.
I think it'll affect the local businesses. I think it may put people off coming.
In a statement, Bradford Council say parking charges play an essential role in the careful management of our village, town and city centres where there's high demand for parking spaces. They can help encourage a healthy turnover of vehicles and shoppers to support local businesses. Jodie relies on return trade, but fears it won't just be motorists who end up paying the price. Matt Price, ITV News, Idle.
And I wonder what you think about that story. I'm sure you will let us know. Now, still to come on Friday's calendar.
I'm here at Newby Hall for Tractor Fest. 100 acres, 1,200 tractors, old and new, large and small.
And pitching in, we catch up with the stars taking part in Soccer Aid, the world's biggest charity football match.
A couple from Barnsley will stand trial next year after suspicious items found at their home prompted the evacuation of dozens of surrounding properties. 58-year-old Ian Claughton and Leslie Claughton, who's 57, were charged with drugs and firearms offences after the incident on Brierley Road. Mr Claughton was also charged with setting a man-trap with intent to inflict grievous bodily harm. The pair appeared at Sheffield Crown Court today and a trial date was set for March next year.
Some more news now, and the mother of two boys who were murdered by her abusive ex-husband in Penistone is hoping to make one final push to win the support she needs to have a change in the law debated in Parliament. Claire Throstle's sons, Paul and Jack, died in a house fire. It was deliberately started by their father almost 10 years ago. She's campaigning for a change in the law, giving children more say on custody arrangements for abusive parents.
He had 5 hours access a week. It didn't take 5 hours to do what he did. By changing this small piece of legislation, it gives the power back to the child. It gives them a voice.
With the general election just under 4 weeks away, we now know the full list of candidates campaigning to become MPs. The deadline for nominations passed this afternoon with the statement of nominees published at 5. It sets in stone the list of hopefuls who will be on ballot papers on the 4th of July.
Well, ITV is hosting 7 parties for a general election debate next week, and we want to know what questions you'd like to ask them. Here's Julie Etchingham with the details.
Who should run the country and what should their priorities be? ITV are hosting a general election debate with representatives from the Conservatives, Labour, the Liberal Democrats, Reform UK, the Green Party, the SNP and Plaid Cymru. We need you to have your say and ask the questions. All you have to do is visit our website and follow the links.
Now then, from a field of political hopefuls to fields full of farming vehicles, because this weekend the country's biggest celebration of agricultural machinery is happening in North Yorkshire.
Yeah, I love a good tractor, don't you?
I do.
12,000 people are expected to descend on Newby Hall for Tractor Fest, where 1,800 vehicles, old and new, will be on show. Well, our Fraser Maud has been ploughing a lone furrow there for us.
Well, I'm here in front of the beautiful backdrop of Newby Hall for Tractor Fest. 120 acres, over 2,000 exhibits, everything from Fordsons to Fergies, from Deutzes to John Deere's, the old and the new. Give you an example of the old and the new. Look at those tiny Massey Ferguson combine harvesters there in front of the big brand new £850,000 John Deere. There are static displays as well. We've got motorbikes, classic cars, static displays like this. We've got an old threshing machine here from Marshall and Sons connected up to an old Nuffield tractor, and we're here thanks to Newby Hall. Stuart, you're from Newby Hall, partnering with Tractor Fest. What an event it's going to be.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a real sort of stop in the middle of our calendar to say, here's Tractor Fest, come on, this is what's happening. We've been partnering with Tractor Fest as a venue for probably 18 years or something along those lines, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year, and it's massive this year, it really is, and some really good quality exhibits.
Something for everyone. Something for everyone. So even if you're an ex-tractor fan, you can still go and have a look around the gardens. Let's have a chat with a chap who's brought all of these amazing exhibits here. Kev, just tell us, how difficult has it been to get 2,000 exhibits here?
It's not as hard as you would think. There's that many enthusiasts right the way across the country. There's people here from Northern Ireland, there's people here from Europe. They come from everywhere. There's a guy schedules his holiday from New Zealand every year to come to Tractor Fest.
And you've got everything here, haven't you? The A to Z, from Alice Chalmers to Zetas.
Yeah, we've got from Alice Chalmers to Zetas and everything in between. We've got thresher machines, binders, combine harvesters, but we're mainly tractors. We've got 1,200 tractors on display this weekend.
And we've got an orange theme as well. The Alice Chalmers are in pride of place today.
Yeah, Alice Chalmers are in pride of place today. We've got them in front of the house and they start with an A, so they need to be in the A spot.
Absolutely. Well, if anyone wants to come down here, you really must. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. So much to look at, so much to do. The house and gardens open as well. It's open all weekend. Get yourself down here for a bit of Tractor Fest action.
Thanks very much to Fraser Moore. There you are,
Do you
Laura.
know, I like a Massey Ferguson myself.
Do you really?
I do, yeah. How about you?
Well, other tractors are available.
John Deere? Yes.
There's
other
no stopping you,
tractors.
is there?
I
Oh, dear
know.
me, we've hit on something here, haven't we? The ITV Evening News continues at 6:30 after calendar. Here's a look at what's happening with Geraint Vincent.
Coming up on the Evening News.
On reflection, that was a mistake and I apologise.
A big own goal for Rishi Sunak. Why is the PM having to say sorry for leaving the D-Day commemorations? Labour, meanwhile, pledged to turn the dream of home ownership into a reality. And are you ready for it? Looks like they are. Taylor Swift brings her tour to Edinburgh. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Thank you. Well, some sport now, and as we heard earlier, the Leeds Rhinos women are on their way to Wembley for the Challenge Cup final, but they aren't the only team from our region in action. The Sheffield Eagles and Wakefield Trinity are also in the capital this weekend. The two championship teams will face each other in the final of the 1895 Cup on Saturday evening. The Eagles are looking to win the competition for the second time in 5 years. For Trinity, it's their first Wembley appearance in 45 years.
Fans have been great all year, really. They've really got on board and supported us this year, but I think obviously getting to Wembley was kind of a cherry on top for them, and obviously that's all they're talking about. I think the ticket sales have been great. They've got, I don't know how many coaches going down to Wembley, so their support's been fantastic, and yeah, hopefully we can make it a good day for them on Saturday.
The opportunity to go there and play there for Sheffield Eagles, my hometown club, is something I'm really looking forward to. And we know it's going to be a tough challenge. You know, there's a full-time team that they've got one over on us already in the year, but you know, every time Sheffield Eagles played at Wembley, they've been underdogs. So we're happy to keep that title again this year.
Huddersfield's equestrian star Oliver Townend says it would be an honour to make it to the Olympic Games. The former European champion has been competing in the dressage today at the Bramham Horse Trials in West Yorkshire. Townend won a gold medal at the Tokyo Games 3 years ago and says he'd love the chance to represent Team GB one more time.
It's just something that's completely different and almost takes you out of our sport. To be surrounded by the best athletes in the world is incredible, and I really didn't anticipate what would happen if you did win a gold medal and brought it home. It really made a difference to everybody locally and the whole team, the massive team that, you know, gets me to those sort of competitions.
Well, finally tonight, it's been a week of selection headaches for the England manager Gareth Southgate as he named his final squad for Euro 2024. And there's been equally hot competition to make the team for the world's biggest charity football match.
Yes, indeed. Soccer Aid brings together sporting stars and celebrities to raise money for UNICEF. Lauren Hall went to see some of the big names in training ahead of Sunday's kick-off.
The domestic season's over and there's still a week to go until the Euros. But if you need a football fix, then here it is.
Training is underway ahead of Soccer Aid this weekend. England versus the World 11. Now the teams are made up of footballing legends and other famous faces. And it's fair to say they're all taking it very seriously.
The atmosphere is electric at the moment. Everyone's highly excited. Hopefully not too excited that they get injured. Yeah, but can't wait.
I'm walking around and I'm going, I've just watched you on Netflix, and then obviously Mo Farah, people like that, you can't believe it.
It's great seeing all the different characters, meeting great comedians and fantastic footballers like Lee Mack.
Hey Lee!
I'm trying to get in on his shot, just was passing by.
Also passing by during the training session was Yorkshire-born comedian Maisie Adam.
What's important for us is to keep our heads down, get the job done, try and stay cool, calm and collected, and not freak out about the fact that you're playing football on live TV in a packed stadium with all of your childhood heroes. You hear my voice breaking?
No pressure whatsoever.
No pressure at all.
Well, the pressure is on for the England team. It's been the World 11 lifting the trophy for the past few years.
England really need a win, don't they?
That's right. I think it's 6 years, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, but the team looks strong, right? You were saying that this
Yeah,
this
they
England side looks
definitely look strong this year. I think it'll be a decent game. I really do.
Of course, the real priority is raising money for UNICEF to help children all over the world. Soccer Aid's raised more than £90 million over the years, and they're hoping to hit the £100 million milestone this weekend.
We're all here for the right reasons, it's UNICEF, but everyone who takes part takes it serious as well. You know, fitness-wise, training-wise. You have a laugh before you start, but when it starts, it's on proper.
And are we allowed to talk tactics, or are they top secret?
Well, we've not got in yet.
Well, who needs tactics when you're playing with some of the biggest names in football? Although, of course, not everyone's up to quite the same standard, as some of the players know only too well.
There's a mutual respect for players at similar level. If you don't mind.
No, I mean 100%.
You
I
know,
mean,
so-
I'm just when I saw that, like, you know, you see other people that are playing, you're like, thank God. When he's just on, because it's like all these professionals.
Absolutely.
Guys, don't do yourself down.
No, we don't need to. We will prove that on Sunday.
Yeah, sorry, this isn't like us being humble. We genuinely are rubbish.
Whatever the result, they're sure to raise a few smiles and a fair few pounds for a good cause. And for all the players, that's the goal that really matters. Lauren Hall, ITV News.
Star-studded edition of Calendar Tonight. What a celebrity count we've got there.
I know. I wish I was at that, though.
Well, yeah, go and watch it on ITV, in fact, this Sunday at 6 o'clock. That's where you can see it. ITV1 and ITVX, of course, which is also the place where you can catch up with Calendar. If you've missed the programme, go to ITVX.
Yes, we're always there, aren't we?
We are.
You don't
We're
just
on it.
have
We're
to
on
watch
it.
us at 6 o'clock. No.
No, watch us on ITVX. Right, let's get the weather now. Here's Ross.
Good visibility on the horizon. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello, good evening. We have seen some sunny spells today, out of the breezes. Actually, those temperatures not too bad. As we make our way into the weekend, so a few downpours in the mix, though. We have got a scattering of showers around. Some of those will be on the sharper side, but it's breezy. They move through quickly, and still for now, those breezes coming down from that cooler direction. We've got settled high pressure sitting out towards the west of us, but it's locked in place low pressure. More unsettled conditions, changeable weather as we head through the next few days, allowing those showers to bubble up. They are few and far between, but as I've said, sometimes on the sharper side, and still those winds coming down from the north, that cooler direction. Temperatures at times a little bit disappointing for the time of year. As we head through this evening and overnight, a bit of a feature moving its way down from the north is going to bring some patchy rain. That clears away as we head into the early hours, but still quite a legacy of cloud left behind. And with the clouds coming and going, the sometimes breezy conditions into the early hours, at least temperatures are holding up for the most part, staying in double figures, certainly for our towns and cities at around 10 or 11 degrees. So making our way into Saturday morning. First thing, again, plenty of sunny spells around. With the sunshine, the temperatures start to climb and we see these showers being triggered. Some of these could be heavy at times, but it's breezy. They move through quickly and most of us generally should avoid them altogether. When it comes to the temperatures, in the best of the sunshine, out of those breezes, we're looking at 17, 18 degrees. In the winds, though, it is going to feel just that little bit fresher. Through Saturday and into Sunday, little change in the setup for us. Still that area of low pressure up towards the north, and moving around that, we have those changeable conditions. So cloud amounts will vary, a scattering of showers here and there. Temperatures generally holding up in the mid, potentially the high teens in the best of any sunshine.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello, summer. Piri sponsors ITV Pollen Count.
Even with some changeable weather on the way, a fresher feel at times, we are seeing those sunny spells and the grass pollen season is starting to peak. Through the next few days, generally pollen levels will stay high. That's it from me. Have a great weekend.
Yes, thank you very much, Ross. Do you get hay fever?
No, I'm lucky, actually, I don't.
Oh, you are very lucky.
What about you?
Yeah, well, only if I'm out and about in the countryside, in amongst the fields. And I grew up in the countryside, so that wasn't so great. But now living in a city, much better.
Yeah, not good, is it? Not good at all. Well, I don't know what Fraser Moan's going to be back here for the late news at 10:30. I don't know if he's travelling by tractor, though.
He probably is, very slowly.
He needs to get here, doesn't he? Have a great weekend. Good night.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.